Earlier today, I was reading an email from a customer of mine. Every so often, people will just randomly email me, and I'm not sure, I'm not able to answer every single person's email, but every so often, it's like the universe will light up someone's email in my inbox, and I just feel like I need to connect with that person. And this was a customer of mine who downloaded the meditation from my website on how to transmute dense emotions. And she was emailing me to share a profound experience that she had with that. And I never get tired of reading the emails from people who experience who have such a remarkable experience in just that short 10-minute meditation. But her follow-up question was, because with that meditation, I also included a live stream video that I did for the folks that I had downloaded it, talking about healing, because people started to experience healing with the meditation. And it's not the meditation that heals you. The meditation just opens you up to heal yourself, because I don't believe meditation heals you. And because that started to happen, I did a live stream talking about healing. And one of the conversations I had in that live stream was the relevance of forgiveness and unforgiveness, and the impact that can have on your physical body and healing. And so her follow-up question was, she had listened to part of that video that I did, and I was discussing how you can really tell if you have forgiven. And in listening to that, she said she suddenly realized from what I had shared that she still had some unforgiveness to work through. And so her follow-up email to me was, is there a process that you use to release unforgiveness? And my response to her is, I don't have a process. I just shift my perspective. And so I want to share with you guys in this video 4 things about forgiveness and unforgiveness, and how forgiveness itself can actually become obsolete. So the first thing, and some of this I did share with her, some of it I didn't, but the first thing that I wanted to share was holding on to unforgiveness because you feel justified that the person deserves your unforgiveness. It's like drinking poison and feeling justified that you ingested it, because unforgiveness is a pretty dense emotion, very dense emotion. So that's the first thing that I wanted to share. The second thing that I wanted to share is what I shared with her, is that I don't have a process for forgiving and for releasing unforgiveness, because all I do is shift my perspective. And in the email response that I shared with her, I shared that because I shift my perspective, unforgiveness turns into love pretty quickly. And here's how unforgiveness becomes obsolete. God does not forgive us. Our divine teams, our guides, our angels, everyone in the unseen realm never has a need to forgive us. Why? Because they have never condemned us. And I have found in my own personal journey, the more self-aware I become, the more my awareness expands, the less I feel like I have a need to forgive. Because in order to forgive someone, you have to first condemn them. You would have to, in some way, shape, or form, feel some level of condemnation for that person, and then you move from condemnation to forgiveness. And so the more we expand and the more we become aware that we are all one, the more forgiveness becomes obsolete. The more that, and so that's the second one, is the more we are aware that we are all one, forgiveness becomes obsolete. The third thing that makes it easy to let go of unforgiveness is the understanding that we're each here playing roles in each other's lives. And when you're in a situation where someone has, quote unquote, done you wrong, you can pause, take a deep breath, and ask, I wonder why they are playing this role in my experience. One of the things that I sent to the customer that I was having this ongoing conversation with for about a week or so, at the end of it, I sent her, when I was explaining to her that I just shift my perspective, I sent her the link to a video here on YouTube where someone is reading Neale Donald Walsch's book called The Little Soul and the Sun. And within minutes, she wrote back to me and she said she's incredibly emotional. I think she said she was in tears. And what was most profound is she said when she listened to that, she felt like she finally found the key to let go of the unforgiveness. That book is a book that was written, that Neale Donald Walsch wrote for children. But let me tell you, it has some pretty adult spiritual themes within it. And when you, toward the end is the most powerful part, I think, when the soul that had arranged to do some dark things to the other soul when they got to earth and said, when I do this to you, promise me that you'll remember. And I forget the exact words, but it's pretty much, don't hate me because, it's not don't hate me. I forget what the premise was, but it's pretty much we're playing roles in each other's lives. And what I'll do is I'll leave the link to that video where the person is reading The Little Soul and the Sun. It's about a 10-minute video, 10 to 13 minutes or so, but it's powerful. Wait till the ending, I think, is the most powerful part, where one soul is saying to the other soul, I will have forgotten who I am, and I will have done this dark thing to you. And it's pretty powerful. And she said she was in tears, and it completely unlocked the unforgiveness that she was holding on to instantly. And that's powerful. And I hope that when some of you go to that link that I'll share below, that it has a powerful effect on you as well. And the fourth thing that I wanted to share is if you're dealing with not forgiving someone, because I know that some of you have been through some pretty dark things at the hands of other human beings who completely forgot who they were. And that's what happens, is in human form, we agree to play roles in each other's lives, yes, and some of those roles are not very light. They're more of the dark side of things. And I say dark side just meaning, you know, not the most loving thing to experience. And I know that it can feel almost impossible to let go of unforgiveness. And what I want to say here in this fourth point is that it is not something that you have to work at. I don't believe forgiveness is something we have to work at. I think the universe, if that is your desire, to free yourself and to experience freedom from unforgiveness, because when you're holding on to unforgiveness, you're locked, man. That's a dense energy to be holding on to. And if freedom is your desire, freedom will be yours. And I believe if that's our sincere heart's desire, the universe will conspire to get us there. And I don't think it requires work. It just requires lining up with that desire, you know, and remembering who we truly are, and remembering that we're just here playing roles in each other's experiences, and remembering to shift from the human perspective to the perspective of Source, the perspective of your higher self. And that's what that book by Neale Donald Walsch, The Little Soul and the Sun, does beautifully. What happened with my customer is that she, and this is my example of the universe just conspires to get you to where you want to be. So the universe knew, she didn't know that unforgiveness would be something that she would be taking a look at when she downloaded that meditation from my website. And she didn't know that she was holding on to unforgiveness. It's one of the things that I had talked about, and I said, these are the ways to know if you've truly released unforgiveness. And in hearing that, she realized, wow, that puts it in a whole nother light. And I'm realizing from that perspective, don't think I have forgiven. But the universe was conspiring there, because she downloaded that meditation for some physical pain that she was experiencing. And then that video came along with the meditation. The video is what alerted her to the realization that she had not yet let go of unforgiveness, and prompted her to reach out to me. And then we had this ongoing email conversation, at the end of which I pointed her to the Neale Donald Walsch book, audio that was being read by someone here on YouTube. And boom, she was free. By shifting her perspective through listening to that book, she was free. And the universe will conspire on your behalf if that's your heartfelt desire. If that's truly what you want to experience, the universe will do its thing. You don't have to work at it, you know. We feel like we have to find a process and work at it. And yes, processes are valuable. Depending on where you are vibrationally, they can be incredibly helpful. And going through the process of quote unquote working on yourself can also be beneficial. If you do believe that that's required, then you have to move in accordance with your own belief, you know. So processes and working on yourself and doing the work, as some like to say, is fine as well. But sometimes just a shift in perspective is all that is required to help you find the path to freedom. Freedom from unforgiveness. So I hope that link that I'll share below will be helpful to some of you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.